Portugal have done it. They've actually done it. They proved me and so many other people wrong. And quite frankly, I don't really know how they've done it, but they managed to take down that monster of a Spanish team. Now, if you've been living under a bridge, you would have known that Portugal beat Spain in the final of the 2025 Nations League. And boy, that was a cracker of a game. But during the game, there were a few things that I noticed and a few things that I felt like I wanted to talk on to you guys. So I'm just going to go through all of them in this video. This is actually, it's not going to be like my last video where I just ramble on about things. I'm actually going to be talking about certain things and sort of explaining what I think this final entails for both teams and where I think both teams went wrong in the final. So the first thing I want to talk about is Portugal. Obviously, no one really gave them much of a chance in this final. You know, that Spanish team is very dominant. They stormed the Euros pretty easily and won the whole competition. But Portugal, I feel like they're finally starting to click a little bit. I still don't really rate Roberto Martinez as a manager, but I think the players are finally starting to click. See that chemistry between the players. Like, there was always a bit of drama between like Ronaldo, Bruno, Ruben Diaz, these sort of players. But now when you watch them all interact with each other, you can tell it's all love and that they're all like a proper team now. Whereas I feel like maybe at the Euros or especially the World Cup, I feel like that wasn't the case at all. And I think because of that, that's naturally just going to lead to better performances. And they've been solid during this competition, man. They beat some decent teams, obviously beat Germany in the semi-finals, and they beat Spain in the final. That's not to say I necessarily think they're better than both the teams, but I think what they've shown is that they can dig deep now as a team. Whereas before they had this weird thing where they just capitulate when things got a bit tough. Whereas I think they're finally starting to show a bit of underbelly. Maybe that's because of Roberto Martinez, but I put that down to the fact that they're finally sort of gelling properly as a team. Now, the first individual I want to talk about, you guys know, Nuno Mendes. Who says no to giving this guy the Ballon d'Or? That performance, I'm not even joking, might be the best left-back performance I've personally ever watched on TV. Everything Portugal did good in that game ran through this guy. He got the goal, which was a great goal. He got the assist. He was creating chances. He was dribbling past players. Him and Leao were linking up. He was unreal. And I actually want to talk about Nuno Mendes a little bit. He has to at least, maybe if he doesn't get the Ballon d'Or, he has to be at least top 3 in the rankings. Because I saw some stats saying that every right winger that's played against him, or out of every right winger that's played against him, no one scored above an 8. Or it wasn't even above an 8. No one scored at least an 8 against him performance-wise, which is crazy because it's not like he's playing against bums. You know, he's played against probably the 3 best right wingers in the world in Saka, Yamal, and Salah. And obviously, we've seen what he did to all 3 of them. But especially what he did to Yamal really surprised me. I've never seen Yamal be that passive in his play. Every time he got the ball, he didn't look like he wanted to take Nuno Mendes on. And when he did, Nuno Mendes really wasn't having any of it. So I think, honestly, who says no to giving Nuno Mendes the Ballon d'Or? And if you say no, then you just haven't watched him this season. Because let's be real. Okay, I still agree with everything I just said, but let's break it down to the facts. The reason Portugal won that game was Nuno Mendes. Everything good they did came from him. Now, the next guy I want to talk about, you know who I'm talking about, bro. The real GOAT. He's not a fraud. He's not baking off in the MLS at 36, 37. He's the real GOAT, Ronaldo.
I'm sorry. No, you straight. You straight. It's all good. Man, I'm sorry.
This guy, real talk, bro. Real talks need to be had, and respect needs to start being put on his name again properly. Because I'm seeing too much disrespect on this guy's name, talking about, Saudi League this, Saudi League that, he's washed, he's fit. Bro, guys don't deep the longevity, bro. This guy played against Maldini, who was born in 1968. 1968, bro. That's surpassing Unk status. And he just beat Yamal, who's born in 2007. Like, it's just, I don't know, bro. Words can't describe how insane the longevity is. And I think, even though I'm saying it out loud, I still don't think it's even possible for me to sort of fathom how long he's actually been doing it for. This guy's been doing it longer than I've even been on this planet. The whole time I've been on this earth, he's been at the top of his game. I think that just puts it into perspective how crazy this guy is. And I was actually sitting back and deep in like, when is this actually going to end? When is he going to call it quits? When is he going to stop? Because he's just not slowing down. Okay, cool. He don't have the step overs that he used to. He don't have the speed. He don't have he don't have a lot of the things he used to, let's be honest. But what he does have is the football IQ, and I think that's his most underrated feature. Guys don't understand how useful his movement is to the team, how the little subtle things he does affect the play. If you watch Nuno Mendes' goal, he dragged the defenders away from Nuno Mendes to create space for him to drive into and then slot it into the bottom corner. But nobody would notice that because it's just not something that people would usually notice unless you sort of understand the game or you sort of look out for it. That's what would make you see it more clearly. And he's still scoring. Like, we're not deep in. This guy just scored against probably the best national team in the world right now in a final when his team was losing. Like, this guy is clutch beyond belief. So I don't want to see no more Ronaldo disrespect. I don't want to see people saying he's washed and this and that, because I feel like the Germany game and this Spain game, he proved he can still do it, because what he's doing now is just different. And I think that he's actually helping the team more than maybe necessarily in the World Cup 2022. He was, I guess, a better player. He wasn't as washed, or I just said not to call him washed, but you know what I mean. He wasn't as bad as he is now. But I think what he's doing now helps more, because he isn't trying to be flashy. He isn't trying to do everything himself or try to show that he still got it. He's sort of accepting who he is now as a player and sort of playing to the strengths that he still has, which is obviously helping the team. And honestly, I still think he's Portugal's best number 9. I mean, we saw Gonzalo Ramos come on for a bit, and he offered nothing. Like, he's still slower than Ronaldo, and Ronaldo's 40. I'm not saying this just because I'm a Ronaldo fan, but I genuinely don't think Gonzalo Ramos offers anything new to that Portugal team. So I'm stamping it down now. No more Ronaldo disrespect. Otherwise, you'll have to go through me. You're going to have a personal problem with me. Now, on to what I think that this win sort of entails for the World Cup for Portugal. I think that they have a good chance of winning it. Obviously, everyone says that they just don't gel as a team, which I guess is true. But like I said earlier, they've shown that they have more of an underbelly, more of a fight and spirit as a team now. And they've got players that are not. I feel like the players are in the best way possible. I think they're accepting Ronaldo's washed. I think that they're starting to work more for him now. They're starting to let him play to his strengths, not in a way that is a detriment to the team, but they're sort of allowing him to do what he still can, whilst also benefiting the team. I feel like they do a lot of the work for him and let him sort of do what he still can, if that makes sense. And not to mention, they've got a good team, man. They've got probably the best left back in the world, Nuno Mendes, probably the best centre mid in the world at the moment, Vitinha. They've got a very good team. They've got a good goalkeeper. They've got decent centre backs. Obviously not the best, but they've got decent centre backs, good attackers. Except for Pedro now, I don't like that guy at all. He has to go. But yeah, I think if they continue in the trajectory that they're going in now, they've just won a major competition. I think that they've got a good chance at winning the World Cup. Now on to Spain. Ooh, Spain. I don't know. I think that we've seen in that game, the Portugal game, how influential and important. I think Yamal is Spain's most important player. We've now seen what happens when he doesn't perform well, and the Spain team just look infinitely worse. Like I said earlier, I've never seen that guy turn back that many times. I don't know, I feel like he didn't want it. I'm not getting onto him because he is very young, he's 17. I'm just saying the fact that he's playing like that when I never thought I would see him play like that is surprising. But in hindsight, he is still 17. He's very young, coming up against the best left back in the world, a left back that's not really a left back that's given him something he's never actually properly had before, which was like a good challenge and a left back that wasn't afraid of him at all. So obviously that must have been a little shake to the system, which obviously clearly threw him off. So I think we've seen that if Yamal don't perform as well, Spain don't play bad, but they do perform a little bit worse. But I think as a whole, I think Spain, I don't think this means much, to be honest. I still think they're gonna go to the World Cup and be really good at the World Cup. I think they still probably will win the World Cup. I think that the Portugal game was more of an off day than anything else. I mean, if you look at their team, they've got an absolute joke of a team. I mean, they've got that midfield is ridiculous. They've got Pedri, Fabian Ruiz, and Zubamendi, and Rodri's gonna come back soon as well. Zubamendi, by the way, unreal. He was, except for Nuno Mendes, on Spain's team, he was the best player on that team by far. And as an Arsenal fan, knowing that he could be coming to us, obviously Madrid are apparently trying to hijack that deal, but it's exciting to see how good he is, because I never really watched him, so I was always sort of against the signing, because I never thought we really needed another centre mid. But watching him against Portugal, he was really good, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do for us. And now we got to talk about someone, man. Alvaro Morata. You see, I was deep in it. When he came on the pitch, I was like, first of all, the first thing I thought was, how is this guy still playing? And the second thought I had was, I started looking back on his career and I started thinking, how did he even end up in the position that he's in? He must have the best agent to ever exist, bro. He's like the Choupo-Moting of Spain. Because I've never seen him do anything crazy or anything good in his whole career. He had one good season in 2015 with Juventus, but that wasn't even that crazy. So how is he still playing for Spain? See, that's Spain's big weakness. They don't really have a number 9. They got Oyarzabal, but he's obviously not a natural number 9. But he is good though. But you've seen that if he comes off, they've got no striking options or striker options on the bench except for Morata. And let's be honest, I think they need to move past Morata, man. He's just not. He just ain't up to it no more, bro. I know people talk about Ronaldo not being up to it, but for real, Morata, he ain't the one no more. But other than that, I really don't see any weaknesses in Spain. I think that, yeah, the Portugal game was more of an off day than anything else. I think they'll be fine. I think that, you know, I think that the performance wasn't anything to do with Spain necessarily playing bad. I think it was more to do with Portugal stepping up, which is obviously a great sign for Portugal because it shows that they can step up in those tough moments. But it's also not necessarily a bad sign for Spain, as I don't think that they were bad, or I don't think they were even necessarily the worst of the two teams. But anyway, folks, that's all I have time for today. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments, if you agree, if you disagree, if you think Spain were trash, if you think Portugal are trash, whatever. Let me know in the comments. Let's have a nice, respectful discussion. Also, follow the Twitch. I'm planning on streaming soon. It's real_Chendro. I'll put it on the screen now. So follow that up before I start streaming. And I'll see you guys later.